Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today's video is going to be a first impressions review on the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. This one is in the color Y225. I've never given any of the Makeup Forever foundations a test, so I thought this one would be the best one to kind of try out and see how it works. It says it guarantees invisible, natural and comfortable makeup. Fluid texture blends seamlessly and conceals imperfections to unify skin's texture. Great for all skin types and features a full range of shades to cover all skin tones. So there was heaps of shades in this one. But yeah, like I said, Y225 seemed to be the best match for me, but I don't know, we'll see how we're going. I'm kind of in the middle of a fake tan like scrub off at the moment, so we'll see how this one works out. So I think it's meant to be great for all skin types, so we'll see that. I have really oily skin, so most foundations, when they say all skin types, don't really mean all skin types when it comes to really oily skin. So anyway, we'll see how this one goes. So this is what the packaging looks like. It just comes in a kind of this plastic kind of tubed bottle. Comes with 30 ml, so just kind of a standard foundation amount. Oh gosh. Has a pump, which is amazing, and yeah, just comes with like a little black lid. So let's put it to the test and see how it stacks up. So first up, I'm going to prime my skin with the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. This is almost out. So yeah, to prime my face. Hopefully this will control my oils a little bit and really kind of give a true indication of how good the foundation is. So once that's all blended in, let's move on to the foundation. So I've got a beauty blender and I've also got a brush here, so we'll kind of see which one seems to be the best way to use it. But I have seen a few videos on this so far and people say it's really watery, so I don't know if I want to use the beauty blender because I feel like that's just going to absorb everything. So let's just try out maybe with 2 pumps to start with. And yeah, so it's a really liquidy formula. And so yeah, I'm going to start off with the brush and see how that goes. I'm just using the Real Techniques buffing brush to apply. Not too bad. It's good. Blends in really well. And there doesn't seem to be very much coverage at all. I'm going to need a bit more than 2 pumps for this foundation. So that was 2 pumps and I haven't even really begun to work on this side yet. So, oh, delicious health. I'm just gonna do another 2, maybe 2 and a bit, because I really think I'm gonna need more than that. Okay. The colour does look alright though, which is good. Love it when I can get the colour right. So it's looking a bit patchy on my nose, but I'm going to go over everything with the beauty blender because I don't really ever use a brush for my foundation, so I'm just like not that great at blending it. So I'm just going to use the excess that's on my hand just with the tip of the beauty blender and see how that goes. Oh, that's much. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you in so you can get a closer look of everything. It's got a little bit cakey and patchy around my nose, hasn't really stuck to my nose, and it looks to be emphasizing any dry patches on my nose, but I don't really have dry skin, so that's a bit funky what's going on to my nose there. Hasn't really covered up any of my blemishes or anything like that I got going on at the moment, so it's not really full coverage, or at the moment I'd say it's kind of a light to medium coverage, but it does look nice on the skin. It doesn't look, as my nose, it doesn't really look cakey or anything like that, but like I said, it's just not really covered up any of my blemishes on my face. So I'm going to use the beauty blender a bit more, just another pump maybe, to see if I can get a little bit more coverage over those areas and see if it's a bit buildable. At the moment it looks like a nice foundation for kind of every day, something that's not too heavy. So I just did another pump and a bit. I'm just going to take the beauty blender again. And I'm just, ooh, it's got a huge hair in it. And I'm just going to place that over the areas that still look a little bit cakey or need a bit more coverage. So just here. And over here, because I have some like dark spots and like pigmentation issues just along my cheekbone here. So I just want to see if I can, oh wow, that's done a really good job. That's done a really good job with the Beauty Blender to add that additional coverage there. Cool, let's try the nose. And I'm not super worried about the nose because I do obviously still need to go over with a bit of concealer and things like that, which will normally cover up any kind of issues on my nose. But you know, it's nice to see if a foundation will actually do that and cover it up itself. So looking at my skin, that extra like little bit that I put on has definitely covered up. It's not completely concealed it. I still can see my blemish there and over here, but it's definitely upped the coverage. I think the colour may be a little bit too yellow for me, but we can fix that up with concealer and bronzer and all that kind of stuff later. My nose does still look a little bit on the cakey flaky side, but again, once my concealer's on, we'll see how it looks after that. It almost has a slight powdery finish to it, which is nice, especially for my oily skin. Hopefully that'll mean that it will kind of stay during the day. It's kind of settled a little bit into my smile lines and a little bit into some forehead lines at the moment, but again, once we've applied the rest of powder and concealer and things like that, we'll see if it's emphasized it. But yeah, so far it looks really nice. My skin looks healthy, doesn't look like it's caked in like foundation. The only thing is that took about, I think it was like 5 or 6 pumps of this to get it to that, and it's still not a full coverage foundation. So this right up there is not, like straight up is not a full coverage foundation at all. I would definitely say light to medium buildable, but medium, I don't know, you could probably get it to full, but I'm not willing to waste that much product because it's expensive. So yeah, I definitely do like the way it applies to the Beauty Blender over a brush. I just like, I don't know what it is, but like I suck at applying foundation with a brush. It never really like goes into the skin. I always have these swirly marks, or it looks a bit patchy and things like that, so I much prefer it with the Beauty Blender, as I do with all of my foundations. So I'm going to apply the rest of my face, concealer, powder, all that kind of stuff, and I'll come back in and we'll do a check-in. So guys, I'm back. The time is now about 11:45. So I finished applying the foundation about half an hour ago, and this is kind of the finished look with bronzer, highlighter, the rest of my face all done. I did notice that it's still got an issue with like my nose. My nose is looking really cakey at the moment, kind of muddy where my contour and highlight is on my nose. But besides that, the rest of my skin is looking really nice, really healthy, natural. Doesn't look like I've got a ton of makeup on at all. So yeah, I really do like how it's kind of finished. I did set it with a powder. I set it with the Australis Ready Set Go Finishing Powder. It's in the translucent one, but a very light dusting because it's completely empty. So yeah, only very light dusting of powder, and I did finish it off with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus as well to kind of get rid of the powdery finish on the skin, because it did have a powdery finish to the skin without the powder on it as well, but I did set it. Now it doesn't look powdery at all. It looks healthy, luminous, but it's probably due to the MAC Fix Plus and the highlight that I've got going on as well. But yeah, just on a really kind of simple makeup look today as well to go with the foundation. It's forecast to get very hot here today. I'm talking like 35 degrees. So we'll see how this holds up. Hopefully it does a really good job, because I'm really liking the look of it at the moment. So fingers crossed it looks okay by the end of the day and it kind of keeps my oils at bay. But yeah, I will check in with you guys in a few hours and we'll see how it's holding up. Hey guys, so I'm back with my first check-in of the day. It is now about 1:30 in the afternoon, and I've had this on for about, I'd say about two hours or so, since I finished applying all my makeup and things like that. So let's check it out and see how it's looking. So I'm definitely shiny already. Not a good sign. Ooh, not a good sign at all. In through my kind of T-zone, sides of my nose are quite shiny. I've got a little bit of separation happening in my kind of smile lines here. My forehead looks alright. It's not too shiny, but I definitely do have a luminosity and a glow to my skin at the moment. My nose is looking quite cakey as well. I'm not sure whether or not that's the powder that I used to highlight it today, because I did use something a little bit different than I normally do. So it could be that. But yeah, overall not looking terrible at all at this point. It's still obviously looking alright to go out in public, and it still looks fine. Like if it was me just on a normal day, I would probably just powder the sides of my nose down, maybe my chin, but that would be it. But I'm gonna leave it as it is, and I guess see how it lasts. Oh, yeah, it's looking a little bit cakey on the side of my nose as well. But overall it looks fine. I don't think it's oxidized at all, and it hasn't lost any coverage either. So yeah, so far so good. I will check back in a few hours and we'll see how we're going then. Hey guys, so I'm back with another check-in. The time is now just after 5:20, so I've had this on for a bit under 6 hours at the moment, and it is so hot and sweaty. I feel really gross. I just did a workout as well, and I feel real sweaty. So let's just check it out and see how the makeup is holding up. Okay, so I'm definitely really shiny. So to my chin, sides of my nose, either side of my nose there, middle of my forehead is really shiny. It's looking pretty cakey in through my nose here, and the middle of my forehead is looking really cakey too. The amazing thing is that the foundation itself hasn't actually broken down. Like, I'm not getting weird separation, besides it looking a little bit cakey on either side of my nostrils there, and a little bit of tiniest little bit of separation in my smile line there. The rest of it's really kind of holding up alright. So I'm going to grab a tissue, blot my face, and see if I can make this last a little bit longer, because at the moment I'm feeling really hot and sweaty and I just want to take it off. Okay, so I'm just grabbing a tissue and I'm just going to separate the tissue, and I'm just going to blot. Ooh. And see if this kind of absorbs the oils. Well, it's taking, well, it seems to be taking away a little bit of the foundation. It's not just taking the oil, so definitely not non-transferable. So that is an oiled soaked tissue, and I'm just going to check it out and see what it's looking like now that I've just got that surface oil taken off. And yeah, I mean, it's removed a little bit of the foundation from my forehead for sure, but it's not looking terrible. You know what, actually, yeah, that didn't do a very good job. It's kind of taken away a little bit of the coverage as well and left me actually a little bit patchy. So it's definitely not non-transferable. So it's definitely taken the coverage away as I've taken it, and definitely my nose. I'm going to zoom you in so you can check out my nose. Pretty much all the coverage is gone off my nose there. It's left a weird line there too, and it's definitely starting to look really cakey around my top lip there, and the coverage has kind of gone off my chin too. So yeah, I don't know, I don't think it's really that salvageable now. It's definitely, the coverage has come away as I've been blotting. So I'm going to see if I can apply a little bit of powder just over those areas to kind of get a little bit of the coverage back, to see if that kind of helps. Otherwise I might have to call it a day and wash my face and just finish the video there, but let's see if we can get the powder to make it work. Okay, so I've gotten my Rimmel Stay Matte powder. This is just a translucent powder. I was going to add a bit of more coverage, but I have a feeling that this is going to like cake up and look hella gross as soon as I put anything with a bit more coverage on it. So I just want to try and take away a bit more of the shine. So I'm just grabbing a small little blending brush. This is what I just use, like an eyeshadow brush, because I only want to apply the tiniest bit of powder in the areas that I want, so I don't want it to go like all over my face. So I'm going to apply a bit of powder just here, a bit on this side too. My nose. No. No, that hasn't worked at all. I'll zoom in. Check out my nose. No, guys, like, this is bad. Can you see that? It's so cakey. So cakey and gross on my nose now. So guys, after powdering and everything, it definitely has not held up. There is cake city on my face right now. It is so cakey over my nose, the sides of my nose, my forehead, chin, entire face where I applied the powder. So at the moment, I'm ready to kind of call it a day. So this has only really been on for about 6 hours. So yeah, guys, this foundation for oily skin is kind of a thumbs down. I really love the finish of it, and the beginning, like the first part of the day, was amazing, but it definitely hasn't held up throughout this heat. I mean, do keep in mind though that I did work out today and it was really sweaty and hot outside, so it has lasted well if you think about it that way when I have done some like a workout and things like that. But overall, I'm going to try and give it another go throughout the week and see how I like it. At the moment, I do think it looks very nice. So for filming and things like that, I think it does exactly what it needs to do. My skin looked really nice when I started the day, and I took the photos as well today. So my skin looked absolutely amazing in the photos. So for what it's designed to be, which is for filming and photography, I definitely give it a thumbs up for that. But for a long-lasting, everyday foundation that controls oil, this probably isn't the foundation for you. But definitely for those, you know, special occasion days where you know you're not going to be out all day and it's just for a small event and you do need your makeup to look nice for a few hours, then I think this one would be a great kind of foundation for that. But again, if you're looking for an all-day foundation that's going to last you 12 hours, this is probably not going to be the foundation for you. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give me a like, thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. And I'll see you next week in my next video. Bye!